Up at the top of the notebook, if you double click in that cell up at the top, you can put your name in there. It's useful to do this for two reasons. One is that if we have any questions about choices that were made or anything, we know who to ask. And the other one is that if the night of data ends up getting used in a paper, then if you're the one who calibrated it, you should really get some kind of credit in the paper. So this lets us track that. The basic idea here is that we're going to select a night of uncalibrated images and then go through a series of steps to calibrate those. Run the first couple of cells until you get this select button, and then hit select, single click on the double dots to go up one level, then single click again to go up another level, and scroll all the way down to the bottom of this long list until you get to uncalibrated nights. And then normally what you would do is you would choose the night of data that you're going to calibrate. We're doing a sample one, and the sample one is all the way down at the bottom here, samples for reduction. So go ahead and select that. When you run the next cell, it's just going to say what directory you chose. On the left, the next code cell you make is going to make a folder called reduced, and that's where all the calibrated images are going to go into. If there's anything unusual about the night of data, you would type it in here. We won't worry about that for now. Run the next couple of cells, and that's going to give you a look at what images are available to be calibrated. And there should be, if it's normal night, there should be some bias images, some dark images, some flat images, and some science images of some sort. I think here there's a Orion Nebula and some galaxy. So just a quick recap of how these images are taken. The bias images are 0 exposure length, but everything else in the camera's electronics goes through the process it normally goes through when it takes a picture. Any variation you see in here, like these bright lines on the right and the left, are going to be present in every image, and we want to subtract them out. The darks are taken, it's a somewhat similar process. You take a picture, but the shutter stays closed, and so in addition to getting the stuff on the left and the right that you see in bias images, you've got these random bright pixels that are just more sensitive than the rest of the pixels. There's a little glow in the upper left here that happens. It's another thing we want to subtract out. We'll come back to the flats in a couple minutes. There's going to be several of each of these kinds of images, because the way that you eliminate things that don't belong, like this streak down here, is you take several images, you average them together, and you throw out any pixels where there was something that just happened once, basically. This cell, you need to run it, but you can ignore it. But the settings here, if it's normal light, there's nothing here that you need to change. It turns out that in our images, there's a segment off on the far right side of the image that isn't actually exposed to light, but the camera sensor reads off data from it. And for some cameras, you can use that to do a calibration that gets you a little bit more precise result. On ours, it turns out not to be useful. And so go ahead and run this cell. And then on the left, go into the reduce folder so you can see what's going to happen there. And for each of the types of the images, bias, dark, flat, and then the science images, we're going to go through this step of reducing, which is the astronomy word for calibrating them. For the bias frames, all we have to do is trim off that part on the right-hand side. We don't have to change any of the detail settings here. They're all set up for our camera. So you just click the lock settings and go button. And then on the left, it shouldn't take too long until you see these calibrated files show up. This next cell just prints out what settings were used, so if we want to look at it later, we've got a record of those. And now we're going to combine these 5 bias images into a combined bias. So you click the combine bias button, and like we did for the color images, you're going to clip before combining, sigma clip 5 and 5, and then combining by average is fine, and hit the lock settings and go button. This one's going to take a little while. You may see this blue dot down here light up and flash several times. Especially when we do the flats, it's going to cycle through each of the 4 filters that we usually use and be emitting messages down there that you can mostly ignore. Okay, so it looks like this finished running. For the dark images, we're going to do 2 things. We're going to trim them like we did with the biases, and then subtract the bias. And then hit the blue button. Again, you should end up with some new files off on the left side. Then print the dark reduction, and we'll combine the dark. So yeah, this is the part that's already starting to get a little repetitive. Clip before combining, sigma clip 5 and 5, Combine the images, average is fine, you don't need to change the group by, then lock settings and go. It will take a bit, takes a fair bit longer when you've got, usually we take 20 bias and 20 dark, and so it takes a little bit longer. Okay, so then you can print the dark. For reducing the flat images, you'll trim like you did before, and subtract the bias, and subtract dark, and where it says scale by dark exposure time if needed, say yes. The dark current is supposed to be proportional to the exposure time, and the darks that we take are typically 90 seconds, and the flat images that we take, the computer varies the exposure time to get about the right light level, but it's typically between 20 and 30 seconds. And on the left now, there's more flats because we've got them in 2 filters. Then for the next one, there's going to be one setting that's different here. So you'll clip before combining, Sigma clip, 5 and 5. Combine images. With the flats, sometimes you need to combine them by median. We shouldn't have to do that with the panel. You do want to check scale before combining, and then median. So what this is going to do is scale each of the flat images so that their median value is 1 before they get combined. The actual image values in these images, I think the way we have the instructions set up for the computer, the image values range from 30 to 40,000. It's easier to think about how you're changing the light images if you're making small adjustments to brightness, which is all we want to make, right? A couple of %. And so by checking this, instead of making a flat image where the overall value in the image is like 40,000, the overall value is essentially 1. Click the go button. This will take a little longer because it's got to do both sets of the flat images. So you can print the flat, and then for the light images, we'll trim, subtract bias, trim, subtract bias, subtract dark. Scale by exposure time should be yes. Sure. And then flat correct. Clean cosmic rays doesn't actually do anything. Oh. Yeah, I should just take it out. And then hit the go button. And this went a lot faster than a real night will because there are only 4 images of actual things here. In these last couple of cells, you can look at what the calibrated images look like. So for the biases, for example, there are 5 of the individual biases and then a combined bias. The difference I see between the individual ones and the final one is that the final one's a little bit less noisy. So with the darks, if you look at the individual dark frames, so you see that weird ring thing? Mm-hmm. For a while, I was taking the darks with the dome lights on, or with some light on in there, and that happens to be the case for these sample images. One of my colleagues made a lot of fun of me when he found out I was doing it with the lights on. I was like, the camera's supposed to be sealed. Light shouldn't get in, but a little bit of light gets in. So for this practice one, it's fine. I should probably actually update these practice ones because there's some better examples. The flats, you don't see as much difference between those, between the combined and the not combined. They look about the same. And then the light images, the bright stuff off on the right and the left is gone. There is this column of what looks like noise on the left that I warned you would be there.